Alrighty then, good evening there everybody, Silver Dragon here, going to be coming at you with a little bit of a tutorial today. Now I've had a few people ask me before exactly, how to use how to use OBS and what settings to use and so on and so forth, and finally today I've decided to actually, go through here and kind of show it away a little bit. Now there's already this little setup I have here, although we're going to mostly ignore that. When you first download and install OBS, all of this will be blank. You'll just have a blank. Actually, no, I believe I'm on the tutorial profile, so I'm just going to remove this entirely until I actually get a reason to use that. So pardon me while I delete those. Let's go profiles. I am on the tutorial profile, so I can just upright delete these whole things. So let's go. No, I guess I have to remove them one by one. So let's just remove all these. Remove. Remove. Okay. So the two things you're going to need are OBS and some kind of program or other site, I should say, to test your actual bandwidth and what you can actually put out. Personally, I use testmynet or testmy.net. That way you can get a much more accurate test than you would from like was it speed.net or something like that, or myspeed. I don't know, whatever, something along those lines. Anyway, when you first get it, it'll be something like this. It'll be blank. You'll have your default profile, and that's about it. So the first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna set the thing up. So you're gonna go into settings, pop down to encoding, and this is where you actually want to see exactly what you can output here for that. Oh wait, what's this thing in my face? Oh, sorry, I meant actually to display this properly here. So let me drag this over. Trying to find a good place for everything here. I apologize. Add a quick screen region. Select that. Let's drag this baby in here. Alright, so let's kind of cover that up a little bit. So here is the actual settings for it. You'll see you got the general, you've got encoding. Right up in the corner here, I already have 2800. You would go over to, let me see if I can move this down actually, without it misbehaving. So you go over to like test my net, which we have right here, test my net. Go upload test. And generally, you get to select your test size, what makes it a little more accurate. Generally, I like to do something a little large, like say a 12 megabit test. So we'll take that. It'll start loading random data. You can see here, now downloading random data. Please wait. Please wait. It'll start running the test. Flash-based speed tests are notoriously inaccurate. Unique to the internet. TestMyNet uses only your web browser. Yada yada yada. Ah, delicious. Pardon me. All right, so eventually, there we go. Calculating. So I have 3.6 megabit a second upload. Generally, that means I would like to do about... let me actually pull this away now from the settings. If I wanted to, I would generally put it up to about 3,000. Whoops, not 30,000, 3,000. Jesus. Which is about good enough to do... what's it called? Oh, man, there goes my brain for a second there. It's 3,000 megabits a second. It's pretty much the base you want to have for 1080p, if I'm not mistaken. It's either that or 3.5, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see if I can... Not XSplit. There was a guide that was actually put on here specifically by one of the admins of Twitch for what were the best settings for Twitch TV. And I'm not sure exactly where that thing is. I'm going to try and link that in the description if anyone wants to check that out later. But it shows the optimal settings for, 1080 and 720 net. But generally speaking, you want to do, if you can, at least about 3,000 if you're doing 1080p, and I would say about 25 to 3,000 for 720, give or take. So I always, if you're capable of, obviously I was 3.6, so I could go, 3,600 if I really wanted to. But you do have to leave a little bit of room for the audio encoding as well as the buffering. So I like to lower it by at least a couple hundred, at least about 500 or so, knock it off that if you can. just to give it that extra bit of space to have the ability to run well and not stutter. Of course, enable CBR and CBR padding. It'll just basically, it tells you if you hold it on there. For regular CBR, do not disable unless you anticipate having to change your target bitrate while streaming. So basically, unless you need to change your bitrate during streaming, just leave this stuff off and just change it when you're offline. Now for the audio encoding, you have two choices between AAC and MP3. I personally prefer AAC, so we're going to leave that as is. Bitrate, you don't really notice too much of a difference past 160, so I generally tend to leave it at that. It's a pretty good one. Of course, with the format, we always want to go with the higher one for that if we can, so 48 hertz, whatever you're capable of for that. Apply that for now. Going down to broadcast settings, we have, there's actually two lovely, I actually do use OBS as well to do my local broadcasts. All my 720, 1080p local broadcasts, I use this to do that. So at the moment it's on file output only. I selected a folder here where it should output that, and I can add some stream hotkeys, but I just use the default start streaming on the main menu here to do that. Anyway, if we go to live stream, we'll have different options here. Let me go to, it'll be set up to custom or something on those lines, generally speaking. You want to click on Twitch TV/Justin TV. There's also stream to YouTube, of course, which would be interesting. We'll do that, and then you want to select the server that's best for you. You can actually look it up and see which one seems to perform better for you. Actually, oddly enough, XSplit. Sadly enough, I usually use XSplit to take a look at that just to see which server is performing well right now. But generally speaking, mine is Midwest Chicago, so I would select that. If a server's not quite working out too well, you can always just change it. At this point, you want to get your Steam key from your Twitch TV dashboard. Just load up your dashboard, and it will actually... let me actually pan over here, if I can. There we go. Let me kind of move status down here. So on your dashboard right here, you can see right over here, Stream key. Just select that and hit Show key. Don't actually show that key, as anyone who has that key can stream on your page. And you just put that in here. It'll enter it in as, you know, this little blank dots, which is good. You can, if you wish, hit auto reconnect. I don't bother, as I very rarely disconnect from the game, so I just leave that ticked off. And you can save your live streams if you wish, just like you can for the local streams. I personally enabled that and let it go as is, so I'll apply this for now, even though I won't be streaming with that. Next, we're going to move on to video. Of course, it's select my video adapter, my default one. Now, this is where you select your quality. If you want to stream at 720p, you do 1280 by 720. If you want to stream at 1080, you would do 920 by 1080. And you are now streaming at 1080p. That, of course, by doing this, though, you need, if your bandwidth can't handle it, you won't be able to do it. I know I've had a few issues lately where I used to be able to do 1080p without a problem, and now it's having issues. You can also, if you wish, set it to 1080p, and then you can just downscale it back down to 720 if you wish. I keep this on fastest, obviously. You can mess around with your FPS here if you wish. You want a 60, 30, whatever. Disable arrow, I always disable arrow. So we'll just leave that as is. Apply, continue. Down on audio, you would set up your, for the desktop audio device, I just go default. I don't really screw around with that any. For the microphone, obviously, you want to select your mic. I have the, no, I'm not selecting the headset, it's a piece of crap. I have the Audio Technica 2020 USB mic. It's quite a nice little mic. You can enable push to talk if you wish. I don't bother. And most of the settings here with the muting, unmuting of the mic or desktop, I don't really bother with any of these, honestly. I just set up the mic and we're ready to go. Now moving down to advanced, Twitch implemented a new system lately where when you actually broadcast live, again, let me go to my dashboard here and go live. Alright. 720p, going for a record, Project Zomboid. So this is my dashboard, it is lovely. When you actually first do go live, you'll get a little quality selector up here. It'll happen. It'll say, you know, either poor, excellent, or... God, what was the other one? Poor, excellent, or... was it appropriate, or... No. Crap, I can't remember. Oh, shit, that's driving me nuts. That is driving me nuts. Crap. Oh, well. Shit, yeah, I can't even remember the name of it right now. It's driving me absolutely batshit crazy, but oh well. Either way, if it's anything other than excellent, basically, oh god, I can't remember it, but the middle tier of it, medium basically on that, was people can actually look up and see your stream on the PC and such. But if you don't have excellent quality, then people on consoles or on the phone cannot locate your stream. So you really do want to have that on excellent quality if you can. Uh, Now, in order to do that, you tend to have an issue that'll pop up saying key frame interval is blah blah blah, out of sync or whatever. So you just put that to 2, and that should deal with your issue. Enable CFR here, which should take care of some problems. Now, for the actual video here, the CPU, if you have a really, really, really hardcore CPU, you could turn this on high. You could put this up higher. But generally speaking, I like to just leave it on faster. Changing the preset can have severe negative effects on your stream quality and CPU usage. Do not change the setting unless you fully understand the consequences of how a preset affects your stream, exactly as it says. Go view more detailed guides than what I'm currently showing, and they will reveal that a lot better to you. So I just go faster, put it on high for that. Priority class up here for normal. Allow the multi-threading optimizations. Allow other modifiers on hotkeys. Though I'm not really sure about this one, but whatever. Allow the FPS entry in the video settings. And then with that, you should be pretty good. You should be streaming with excellent quality on that. Now let me actually remove this now. Settings, remove. Now that we've got the basic settings, we want to actually get something we can show. Obviously, we have nothing here. If we preview a stream, we're blank. We have no scenes, basically. Oh, let me hit cancel and clear that. So we need to create some scenes on OBS. This is how we would actually, let's just go scene right now, for now. This would be for video. Now a scene is just the base amount of sources. Like all of our text, our cameras, everything goes in here. So let's say add our camera here. So let's go add, let's see, what am I doing here? Oh yes, add video capture device. So cam. We drag this over here, camera. Okay. And then we'll have this guy pop up here that shows us our various sources. I have, of course, my video capture for my TV, if I choose to plug it in, my capture card. And then we have right here, of course, my Logitech camera. So I want to select that. Hit OK. Now if I hit preview, it could be like, oh, no. You may have to click it a few times to get it to work. Sometimes it is like that. Weird. Edit scene. No, it's there. It's just not turning on right now for some reason. It does like to misbehave like that sometimes, especially since I am recording with another, with XSplit. It's probably causing it problems right now. Disable audio input. We don't want 2 different forms of audio popping in here. I'm not going to bother configuring this or really screwing around with it too much. But another thing is, I do have a background, and some people wondered how you get the chroma key and such to work. Well, all you really have to do with OBS and the chroma key is, say you would see me in the background right now, and I have a blue background, which is the what I use to make that function. You would select Use Chroma Key, select, click on the background, which of course right now is black, and then if you need to blend it more, you would just increase this like 10, 100, whatever, and that would take out more of the blue. And that helps you stabilize and get rid of the, staticky kind of effect. And that's how you get the, get that going. Now, for any, for any windowed games you want to capture, you would just add in a window capture. Call it whatever. I'm just going to go window capture. Drag this guy down here. Streaming live, local recording. Now, for this, you can select the inner window, which is just inside of it, or the entire window, your choice. You can capture the mouse cursor in the window, which I always keep on. You can increase or decrease the gamma on it, which I tend to do at times because for some reason or another it likes to darken things. So we're going to select World of Tanks, which I have already opened here for that. Okay, which is in a windowed mode. And that pops it up. You can see there. It's just perfectly fine. Again, if I wanted to, I could right-click on that, go Properties. It pops up again. I can increase the gamma if I wanted to really brighten it up brighten up a bit. Or let me put that back to 1 here roughly. Say I wanted to only get a small section of it, like Update 8.9. All I have to do is hit subregion, and this is actually good for capturing, just a single part of a web page or something as well. And then a little box will pop up here. You probably won't be able to see it that well, but there's actually a little box around the game now, and I can drag it down. Go to each corner, drag it down, and we will put it around this update 8.9 here. Whoop. Alright. And hit OK. And there we go. We selected a sub-region within that region in order to have that work. Now, if you're running a game that happens to be on full screen, you can use the game capture right here, which allows you to just select a game out of whatever's here, World of Tanks, and it will automatically capture that in full screen for your viewing pleasures. At least it should. Sometimes it's probably because this one isn't actually in full screen right now. It's misbehaving for that. Property. Let's refresh. If I had this in full screen, it probably wouldn't be as much of a pain in the ass right now. No, that should be doing it, but it's not quite wanting to show up right now. Rarg. Maybe if I click on it, it might be the... Whoa, and that's opening up Operation Spearheads all over the place. No, don't do that. Okay, that's unfortunate. But anyway, that is how you would capture the, full screen games, cough. Even though it didn't quite work the way I had wanted it to, what can you do? Now, if worse comes to worse, if all else fails, and you really just want to capture in like an old school game or something that, just something that the other two won't recognize, you can do the window capture, which is the most labor intensive of the various forms here. No, window capture. Sorry, I was using the wrong one here again. I mean the, where is this thing? Monitor capture. There we go, monitor capture, which is called monitor capture. Select monitor 1 or monitor 2. Obviously, it would literally do the whole thing. Like, if I hit OK, you can literally see the whole thing. Hi, guys! Screenception! You can see XSplit here down as well, as I'm trying to record that. So yeah, that would literally capture the whole monitor. This is the most, CPU-intensive way of capturing, though. So unless you have to, I would not actually cap with monitor capture if you can avoid it. Alright. Anyway, I digress. Other than that, of course, you can add an image into it if you want, just to have a static image. You can add an image slideshow. Let's go image slideshow, where you can add the various images into here and put the interval of time, and it will just keep shifting through those images over time. You can add the text on here, and then just go, blah, 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 blah. Oh. And then we have the various settings for this. I called it blah, 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 so we'll just go blah. And then we can go over here and stretch this out and be like, blah. Yeah, enough of that. So yeah, that is the basics of how to set this up. I don't really mess with global sources at all, really, or any of the other ones. Settings, if you need to edit something to move around in the screen, which I haven't actually fully explained, I apologize for that. You just click on this edit scene here, otherwise you can't affect anything here. You can see I'm trying to move it, it doesn't work. You have to hit edit scene, and then you kind of just drag it around. You can move it and resize it. If you happen to say, let me see if I stretch this down here. Say I want this to be... you can see it doesn't fill the whole screen, but I do want it to stretch all the way to the right. If you hold down Shift, you can actually, customize and go like this instead of just, straight up and just straight the way it's supposed to go. You can resize it however you wish, stretch it all the way if you so wish, and so on and so forth. So that is how you resize it properly. You can also get additional plugins. Oh, great, it's going to open Operation Spearhead again. Let me close that World of Tanks. Get that out of my way. You can also open the little plugins menu. You can get additional plugins to insert for it. There are a bunch of plugins specific to Twitch that you can use to make things easier for it. But anyway, hopefully this helps you guys actually get set up there. So again, pick up OBS. Make sure to use TestMyNet or similar to test what your actual uploading rate is, so you can adjust your bitrate properly. If it's performing too slowly, if you're getting any skips, try downing the resolution from 1080 to 720, and hopefully that will resolve it. Up the bandwidth if you have to, but always leave yourself that little gap to for the buffer to catch up. Because if there's not enough bandwidth for the buffering, then you're just not going to be able to view it properly. Anyway, hopefully this helped some of you guys with your settings on that. Let me view this again here for my settings and make sure that I didn't miss anything. We did cover the quality encoding, quality balance of 8, yada yada yada. Yeah, all of that should be about good. Broadcast settings is all good. So once you're ready to, all that is done, everything's ready to go, you would just hit stop preview. Previews just so you can see, what the heck's going on, if it's capturing properly, and then hit start streaming, and you're good to go. If you wish to mute your mic, mute your mic, I should say, you can just click on this guy, or likewise mute your background audio. Mutes it there. So yeah, that is the entirety, basic, quick run through of OBS for you guys. Hopefully you all enjoyed, and by all means, if you have any other questions, suggestions, solutions, feel free. Even additional tutorials that show off a little bit better exactly what goes down here. Feel free to send that my way as well. Now, actually, I should mention as well, if you preview the stream at the very bottom here, you can see the current bit rate that you were streaming at. If it starts turning yellow or red, that means you're trying to stream at too high a quality for the bit rate or too low a bit rate for it to keep up. We have the FPS indicator down here. The drop frames, if you start dropping frames like a boss, then you do have a problem. And right here we have our current duration of the stream, which is quite useful for local recording for me. So I get to see, okay, I'm almost on 2 hours. It's time to stop. It's time to put it away for now and move on. All right, so yeah. Hopefully this helps you out, guys. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. And yeah, try OBS because XSplit sucks. And I try to avoid it unless I absolutely need to record something like this because it's the only other freaking program I have that can record the background. And I can't record XSplit while recording XSplit. So yeah, or record OBS while, editing the settings in OBS. So yeah, duh. Cough, cough, cough. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hopefully this helps you out. And yeah, join the OBS Rebellion. Because XSplit's terrible. Peace out. Thanks for watching.